Hi guys, welcome to this session on Microsoft Excel. In this module I want to have a look at the SumIF function. So first of all, let's have a look at a couple of examples of SumIF. So here we have some locations and days and then student numbers. So what I've got SumIF to look at is whatever is in cell G1, I want SumIF to tell me how many students have been allocated to that area. So CNA Retailers, for example, has 2 students there, and you can see 5 and 5. Various places down this list you can see that. And this total at the top, 27, is what the SumIF function is returning. So if I just click into that cell, you can see the formula. Now I've named these columns. So column C, I've named location, and column E, I've named students. Now the two areas that you select in this example have to be the same size. So what I'm going to do is just type it out manually first off. So without names it would be equals SumIF, open the bracket, and then you select the range. You're looking down this list, then comma, and then you have to type the criteria that you want to look at. So if I was going to look at I'll do BHS because it's easier to type. BHS, close the quotes, comma. So I'm looking for BHS down this column, and if I find it, I want to add up this column. And then I close the bracket and I click the tick. And you get the same figure as 18 over there. Now the problem with doing it like that is, if I want to pull that across, I'm going to get an error message or incorrect data because the dollar signs need to be on column C and E, and it's moved to D and F. The BHS as well would have to be changed to Skyway and all these other ones. So to avoid that, what I do is create little tables like I've done at the top here, where I put the criteria of all the different things that I want to look at, and then name the ranges. So highlight, type in this name box location, same there, students. And then if I just delete this one off, you can just, I'll delete them all off actually. You can just type the same formula but with names. So it's going to be equals SumIF. So location, so SumIF location, comma, is the same as what's in cell G1, comma, if it is, add up students. And then close the bracket. And that should come back with 27. Which is correct. All I have to do now is pull that over, because by using names you are making those absolute, so there's no need for dollar signs, but look how quick that was. And then if you want, you can do a little graph on that, insert a chart, little 2D column chart will do, and there you go, your graph's done. Get rid of the title and you've got your little graph, which is going to change all the time as this information changes. Now, I actually use that quite a lot in my workplace, and for my own personal data I do it as well, but that's basically SumIF. Now another example is this one, again with names. So this yellow cell in cell O3 is called inquiry date, and these yellow dates themselves across this list are just called dates. Now this works in a similar way to HLOOKUP, where you could use a HLOOKUP, but I'm using SumIF. So basically, if I'm looking at dates, I'm looking at inquiry date, and then I'm looking along this name range, which is called rock. So this would be a loan maybe that I had, and I've named that row rock. And then next one down I've named bank, and you can see bank there, and then the next one I've named furniture. So all of these rows are named. Now when I first did this, these rows were way off the screen, so quite a long way over to the right. So whichever date I put in here, it would bring the relevant figures across. So if I put in the 1st of September 21, when I press enter, the figures would reflect the 1st of September 2021, which it does, which you can see there. So it's just another way of using a table, SumIF, as opposed to HLOOKUP. It's totally up to you which one you prefer, but I quite like SumIF. Now another example of SumIF is this one. So basically, if I change this date to Jan 21, the graph reacts to that, but the SumIF function that you can see at the top there is what's driving this. So let's have a look at what I've got here. So if I go into this one, it says SumIF, the 1:1 means row 1, so I've not named it, but it's looking along there. If it equals B4, so B4 at the moment is August 20. And if that's correct, you then want to look on row 2 and bring that figure in. So August 20 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's bringing September in, and so on and so on. So if I change that again to, let's go for June 21, that will knock it back again 6 months from June. So you can see it reacting there using the SumIF. Now why is it, how is it working? It's working because this is obviously a date that you are typing. This one is a formula that's knocking 1 month off that. So I'm using the date function and the year, month, and the day function. So I've got that all broken down over here. So the date function basically looks at 3 different cells and brings it all together into one cell. So this is looking at P4, Q4, and R4 and bringing that back as a date. Now the year function basically is looking at this cell, so that's telling you the year function is basically what year is this date, 2021. The month function does exactly the same, but what is the month of that date? And then the day function does what is the day of that date. So that's just looking at a date. So when you look at this formula, basically the month function is -1, so it's minus off June, so that's why it's come up with May, and it's doing the 1st of May. That's how that works. But the main thing I'm showing you here is the SumIF function, and that's just another example of it. So hopefully you got a good handle on what the SumIF function is and how it works, and I hope it was of use to you, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for your time.